Welcome to the Department of General Services Procurement Division. My name is Wayne Gross. I'm an outreach liaison with the Certification and Outreach Branch. Today's webinar is entitled Steps 1 and 2, Register Your Business and Become a Small Business, SB, and/or Disabled Veteran Business Enterprise, DVBE. This webinar is based on our brochure, How to Do Business with California State Government, a 5-step process. Before I start the webinar, I want to show you where you can always find the most current brochure. We always start at our home page, which is www.eprocure.dgs.ca.gov. You'll notice in the center top of the screen I have the website there. And on the left I have favorites circled. Make this page your favorites. Bookmark it, however your computer is set up. That way you never have to remember www.eprocure.dgs.ca.gov. On the left side of the page you will notice 7 blue bars. The 4th blue bar is Small Business and Disabled Veteran Business Enterprise Services. We'll click on it. There'll be 3 bullets: Search, Online Certification, and Homepage. We want to click the 2nd bullet, Online Certification. And above the 4 blue bars, there's a sentence that says, for more information, view the How to Do Business with California State Government brochure, English version, Spanish version, as well as the Disabled Veteran Business Enterprise brochure. And every time you go to this website and click on it, you will get the most current, up-to-date version of that brochure. And our brochure is dated March 2014. And when you open the brochure, you will see highlighted here, steps 1 and 2. 1, registering your business. Step 2, becoming a California certified small business or disabled veteran business enterprise. The objectives of this webinar today are for you to know what the goals of the program are. What are the requirements for small business? What are the requirements for the DVBE? What are the benefits of the program? What is the definition of eProcurement? How do you register your company in BidSync? And finally, how to get registered as a small business and/or DVBE. Last year, the state bought over $10 billion worth of goods and services. And the state agencies are required to award the small businesses 25% of that $10 billion. Furthermore, Military and Veterans Code Section 999 requires agencies to award at least 3% to DVBEs. The requirements for small business are very small. First, you must be independently owned and operated. You can't be dominant in your field of operation. You must have your principal office here in California. And the business must also have its owners or officers in the case of a corporation domiciled in California. And together with the affiliates, be either a business with 100 or fewer employees and have an average annual gross receipts of $14 million or less over the previous 3 tax years, or be a manufacturer with 100 or fewer employees. The definition of a disabled veteran business enterprise certification purposes say that a disabled veteran is a veteran of the United States military, naval, or air service and has a service-connected disability of at least 10% or more as certified by the United States Department of Veteran Affairs and must be domiciled in the state of California. The eligibility requirements are very simple. And as noted in the first bullet, most DVBEs can also get certified as small businesses. To be eligible for DVBE certification, the business must meet the following criteria. The DVBE must be at least 51% owned by one or more disabled veterans, and limited liability companies must be wholly owned by one or more disabled veterans. The daily business operations must be managed and controlled by one or more disabled veterans. The disabled veteran who manages and controls the business is not required to be the disabled veteran business owner. The home office must be located in the United States. The home office cannot be a branch or subsidiary of a foreign corporation, foreign firm, or other foreign-based business. For more information on our certification, the small business requirements, or the DVBE requirements, please don't hesitate to either go to our website, which is www.pd.dgs.ca.gov/OSDS, or call directly 916-375-4940. And their hours of operation are Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Now that you're certified, what are the benefits of that certification? Number one, it increases opportunities for the small business and DVB community and stimulates the economy. Secondly, it levels the playing field when competing for state contracts and purchases. Thirdly, there is a 5% bid preference for small businesses. Fourthly, the state may offer up to a 5% incentive to DVBEs in the formal bid process. Sixth, as a California certified small business DVBE, your firm is added to the Department of General Services Certified Firm Database. And finally, state agencies use this database to find suppliers. The most important benefit of being certified as a small business and or DVBE is the option. And what this is for goods and services and IT goods and services from a penny over $5,000 to a penny less than $250,000, and for public works a penny over $5,000 to $281,000. All the state buyer has to do is go into the database and find at least 2 small businesses or 2 DVBEs. And this is why it's important, if you are a DVBE, if you qualify for the small business certification, get it. Because these are 2 separate entities. If I'm a state buyer and I'm looking for small businesses, I'm just going to look at the small business portion of your certification, not the DVBE portion. A couple years ago, our director saw the importance of our outreach and said, we need to set the example for other state agencies. And so we came up with the Small Business DVBE First Policy. And what it is we've dropped the 5,000 bottom is now from 0 up to a penny less than 250,000 for goods, services, and IT goods and services, and from 0 to 281,000 for public works. All the state buyer has to do is go into the database and find either 2 small businesses or 2 DVBEs. Now, the first policy means that the state buyer has to go into the database first. And you'll notice the last bullet on the slide gives you a list of the agencies that have the first policy. The Department of General Services, Franchise Tax Board, Department of Veterans Affairs, the Military Department, that's the National Guard, the Department of Public Health, California Highway Patrol, California Department of Technology, Department of Education, California State Retirement System, and Department of Consumer Affairs. They all have the first policy. So if the state buyer can't find at least 2 small businesses or 2 DVBEs, they have to request a waiver. What that means is that's more paperwork for the state buyer. And so we've tried to make it more difficult, more challenging for them so that they must go to the database first. As I said at the beginning, our webinar is based on our brochure, How to Do Business with the State of California, a 5-step process. And the way this evolved was through the creation of eProcurement. The California Department of General Services Procurement Division partnered with BidSync, a third party, to host California's online procurement system called eProcurement. And what it does is it helps state agencies organize, automate, and better manage purchasing processes. There are 3 benefits. The first one was consolidation. What happens is you can apply for small business DVB certification, you can respond to solicitations, you can look at other contracts in the databases. Accessibility. Wherever there is an internet, you can plug right into it and see all this information. And lastly, transparency. You can view all our information on procurement and contracting activities. So, brochure says in step 1, you're going to register with BidSync. So, you always go to our homepage, www.eprocure.dgs.ca.gov, and you're going to establish a username and password. And as the slide shows you, remember to make it a favorite because everything starts here. You'll notice on the left-hand side, the second blue bar is Access eProcurement, EP. And then you're going to register. Now you'll notice a red line pointing to registration instructions on the left, and under PD Quick Links, the 5th bullet. And these are our registration instructions. And you'll notice that there's 7 bulleted items. You pick, you get all this information in front of you, and you do steps 1 to 5. And so when you click register, you go to their page where you fill in on number 1, main contact information. The most important part of number 1 is your username and password. On the right side, you'll input your company information, and at the bottom, there is optional information, business ID numbers, your DUNS number, your FEAN, that's your federal employer ID number, or your social security number. Since it's optional, I recommend that you don't fill it in. You'll click Next Step. On this screen, you are identifying what industry that you are in. You put in keywords, and then the first red arrow says, where do you do business? You want to make sure you bullet California only. If you choose any other of the bullets, there may be a fee associated with it. And the fee association is called BidSync Links Plus, plus meaning fee. The last item is notifications, and you'll notice that when you look at this page, there'll be a check mark to the left of Include BidSync Links Plus, their fee service, bids recommended. And the people who are recommending it are BidSync. And so you want to uncheck that item and then click next step. And then you're going to fill in using keywords the different words that are going to show up as codes, and they're called NIGP codes, and you must choose at least one. And then click next step, and this tells you that you are now registered with BidSync. Really short and sweet. And so next what you do, those were steps 1 to 5. You're going to turn the page over and do steps 1 to 12. And the first one says click my account. And again, you see these instructions. You're going to log in using your BidSync username and password. Click login. And the first time you do this, you're going to have to accept BidSync's terms and conditions. Once you accept those conditions, it will take you to the home page of BidSync, and you'll click my account. And on the left side of the page, you will see company profile. You'll click it, and there will be 7 tabs. You want to click the 5th one, notifications. And you will notice that under notification settings, agency types, all of them are checked. You need to uncheck all of them except for state. If you leave anything else checked, BidSync Links Plus comes into play. So you don't want to do that because as the state of California, a public entity, we cannot charge you for our services. And then under emails, the last 3 should be unchecked, and you'll hit save. And then you go up to the top and click my account again. And now you'll notice in the middle, it says register your business with the state of California. And now you see the state of California supplier profile. There are 3 red X's that have to be completed. The first one is your identification number. Click edit. And you have 2 choices. You either can put in your social security number or your federal employer ID number. In either case, make sure you do not put the dashes. Once you put the numbers in, hit save, and the red X changes to a check mark. The next item is UNSPSC classifications. Click edit. Those are, the UNSPSC codes are the United Nations codes that the state uses. We're the only ones that use it. And so here you want to put in a keyword, do a search, and you want to check as many classification codes that are appropriate to your company, and then hit save. Again, the red X turns to a check mark. And lastly, the state of California use policy, click view, and you have to agree to our use policy. And you agree to it by using your electronic signature, and that is by putting in your password from BidSync and hitting accept. You now have 3 check marks, and you're ready to register your California profile with BidSync. So you click submit registration, and you should get registered. Now, unfortunately, there are situations where you're going to get this response, registration pending. Why would you get this? Because there's another account that matches your information. How did that happen? Maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago, you had your secretary start this process and she no longer works with the company, she got sidetracked, whatever. If you get this response, registration pending, please do not call BidSync at the 1-800 number. Contact our certification office at 916-375-4940 and tell them the response that you have here, registration pending. and they will go internally into your account and see what they can do. If not, they will contact BidSync. Please make sure that you contact our certification office. It will make things go a lot smoother. Now that you are registered in BidSync under the California profile, you now can get your certification as a small business and or disabled veteran business enterprise. Under the second box, under your California supplier profile, you'll see register your business with the state of California. And you click that, and you have your California profile, and the fifth line says edit options, certify with a blank application. Now, since everyone has different requirements on their certification, please fill out the application on your own. If you have any questions about the process, contact our certification office at 916-375-4940 or email them at osdshelp@dgs.ca.gov, and someone from our certification office will help you. Remember, their hours of operation are from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. In summary, we went over the goals of the program. We also went over the small business requirements, the disabled veteran business enterprise requirements. I told you about the benefits of the program. I defined eProcurement. I showed you how to register your company in BidSync, and finally, how to get certified as a small business and or disabled veteran business enterprise. Thank you for listening to my presentation. If you have any questions concerning this webinar, please contact wayne.gross@dgs.ca.gov or advocate@dgs.ca.gov, or phone us at 1-800-559-5529, option 3.